She's funny.
So, as you can see, that play is coming up. It's going to be Sunday, January 29th. We'll talk about the details, how you can get tickets, where their performance is going to be just a bit later. But right now, I want to introduce you to the playwright. She was actually here last week, and this week we have a bit of a performance. Also, Janelle, thanks for coming back. It's so good to see you again.
Thank you for having me
And Samantha
again.
Middleton, you're joining us also, and you're also in the play?
Yes.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about Sunday Brunch.
Well, Sunday Brunch is a magnificent play.
Of course it is.
Of course it is. Sunday Brunch, Marriage Uncovered, is about different aspects of marriage. Someone who doesn't want to be married, someone who's been married, someone who's been divorced, someone who has the perfect marriage, and someone who's dying to be married, which is my Samantha. Samantha here. And it really, even though it's about different aspects of marriage, the core message is about not losing yourself in a relationship, knowing who you are, bringing your whole self to that relationship, and dealing with some myths around a marriage, especially in the Christian community.
So we talked a little bit about this last week, but tell us again how you came about writing this play.
I was at a point in my life where I said, God, what would a woman say in a marriage if she could without having any backlash, if she wanted to say whatever was on her mind? And that's when a character walked in, and that character was Diane, and she began to just say whatever it is she wanted to say. So I went through my own past and my own things that I've dealt with growing up and being married for 23 years, and I have a lovely husband. Hi, honey. But just looking at some of the things that we have come through, and maybe I didn't say what I wanted to really say, Diane was able to say it. And I found that there are a lot of women who don't say what they really want to say for whatever reason.
Right.
You don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. You don't want to be disrespectful to God or your marriage, you know, but still it's there, and you're hearing it, you're just not saying it. So Sunday Brunch is like that platform for that.
So Samantha, how did you get involved with the play?
Well, besides my mother-in-law telling me I had to, I'm joking. But no, Janelle, she did approach me. I actually was involved in the play before with this. I did a spoken word piece, but I wasn't actually one of the characters. And this time around, I was familiar with it, and I guess, you know, she thought of me for the part of Margie, and she asked me, and you know, it's been good.
So you say you were involved with the play before, so tell us about that experience, because there was an earlier performance other than that. Tell us about that experience for you. And what did people say to you? What were some of the comments and feedback you received?
Okay. Well, when I was involved with the play before, I actually did, in the opening of the play, I did a spoken word piece. And I did the spoken word piece, and Janelle actually asked me to write something for the play, and I struggled. But I ended up writing something that kind of, it encompassed all of the characters really in the play. It talked about, you know, in the beginning and falling in love and being head over heels, and then later on realizing that, you know, things were not the same and losing yourself, like, you know, so it encompassed all of, I think, all the characters' stories in that poem. And then when I did it that time, the feedback that I got and that we always get from the play was just people being encouraged and, you know, seeing themselves in the characters, and I mean, it's always overwhelming, and it's always phenomenal.
So the character that you play, how much of that character is really you,
Well,
if any of it?
well, Margie is a hopeless romantic, so she romanticizes everything.
So Margie is Shauna, essentially.
and me, and Sam. So as far as relating, she's, you know, Margie's character, she's involved with someone, and she is head over heels, and she's so in love, and everything he does is perfect, and, you know, and she's kind of blinded right now. And as far as myself goes, I do romanticize most things. So I can definitely relate.
Most things.
Right, yeah.
funny.
So, yes, in that sense, I can relate to more.
Now, when you was explaining about a woman expresses herself in different ways and different emotions, are any of these expressions in anger
In the play or
in the play?
um,
I know in real life, I see it. Hey, trust me, I see it. But I mean, you know, since they're expressing something, you know, we might think as a man watching this how a woman expresses herself, you know, it'll come in a lot of different emotions. Are any of them in anger or just to get him to understand or see a point or?
no, you know, none of it is to get the man to see a point.
Okay.
All of it is really the woman coming to the realization of her own position
Okay.
and where she is. There's a line where Diane says, I had to realize that I was focused too much on my husband. I was his wife, not his Holy Spirit. And the Lord spoke to me and said, let me fix you. So in all of everything that each character goes through, it is their own self-realization that they come to, because you can't change another person. So they express it passionately. That's a good word, passionately, but not necessarily anger towards the man.
So I listened to you last week. I'm listening to you today, and it really seems like this should be a play that men should go see just as much as women. Because
Absolutely.
even though
Definitely.
the women are expressing themselves a certain way and they give women another way of looking at, oh, you know what, I've been doing things maybe wrong where I could change the way I express myself. But me as a man, I'm listening to how you're saying these things, and it has me thinking, well, this is a different expression on how these women are putting a point out.
Exactly.
And it's not anger, it's not this and that, but it's not, you know, this is me and, you know, I
Yeah.
am woman, or, you know, how you want to put it out.
Hear me
you know?
roar? No.
No, not that, okay. all right.
Okay.
But it is different. And you know, I guess, you know, gentlemen, I think you might want to go check out this play because
Absolutely.
it has me very interested.
I can't wait for you guys to come next
Yeah,
Sunday.
I'm
to see
glad.
it.
It is next Sunday, and I'm
Yes.
thinking, I know this, you know, Darius Brown is on next Sunday because it's the 5th Sunday.
Okay.
So we're not on next week.
Oh, that's
So
great.
it all worked out beautifully.